Loom knitting is easy to learn for beginners. It's portable and perfect for relaxation. But another thing that is important is having a well-organized travel kit. A bag that is ready that you can just grab and go. So today I'm going to show you a few of the things that I like to keep in my Loom knitting bag, as well as go over a few tips and tricks of things that I have learned along the way. So I have this little pencil case from Sterilite. It's got this divider in it. And I always like to keep my loom hooks in here. So I have one from KB Looms, one from Cindy Wood Crafts, another one from KB Looms, and then my two from Artisanal Turnings. Sometimes you have to maneuver them to get them in there to where it will close. And if it doesn't fit, you can just move things around to where it benefits you. Another must-have for me for my on-the-go kit is a measuring tape, a stitch counter, stitch markers. I always have extra stitch markers that I put off to the side, a block so I can charge my iPad, which the iPad and the cord is in the house, but the cord would also go in here, and my earbuds. Gotta have the earbuds. Depending on what I am working on at the time, I also have a crochet hook that it corresponds with the size yarn I am using. If I drop a stitch, I will need that crochet hook to pick it up. Ink pens. Sometimes they fit, sometimes they don't. Like I said, it depends on what all I am putting in my travel kit. So that part is good. Minus my scissors. Let's throw those scissors in there. So now I have this little pencil case, some stitch markers. Another thing that I have is this little tin that has some additional stitch markers and some darning needles if I need to sew in any ends. I have another pair of scissors. I have my non-traditional loom hooks. These are O-ring removal hooks that I purchased at Harbor Freight. So I have the different hook tips for whenever I need to do a special stitch of that kind. Another thing that I like to put into my travel bag are these finger compression sleeves. If you knit on the loom a lot, you may hold your thumb over the top of the loom like this, and these compression sleeves actually give you enough cushion to where the loom hooks, or excuse me, the loom pegs are not scraping on your hand or fingers. So I always have some of these with me. I got these on Amazon. There are several in a package. So I usually have one or two in each project bag. Another thing that I like to keep with me is a notepad. That way, if I ever have to make any tally marks or any notes outside of the stitch counter saying I'm making a pair of socks, I want to know exactly how many rows and stitch repeats and things of that nature that I did for one sock, so that way I can duplicate it for the second sock. I've got it right here in my little notebook. Another thing that I like to keep is my large package of stitch markers. I got these also on Amazon. They are the rubber band bracelet kit. There's 1,400 in here. I like to keep these if I need to mark the stitches on a peg a certain way. My brain needs correlation. So, for example, if I was doing a knit and purl rib, my purple markers would be pearl because, you know, pearl starts with P and purple starts with P. That's just how my brain works, and that works the best for me. So I always keep these in my Loom knitting travel bag. And then, of course, our looms. The loom that you carry depends on really on what project you are using. For the looms, I just tend to set them inside of the bag. The yarn, it all depends on what I'm making. If I am making a sock and the yarn is being used from a center pull, then I will put the yarn directly into the bag with the other stuff. If the yarn is started from the outside and it rolls as you are working, then I put that into a plastic baggie with leaving just a tip of it open for the yarn to come through. If you prefer to have your looms and yarn separate from all of the stuff in your travel kit, you can actually get some of the very large Ziploc bags from the Dollar Tree. And they are actually large enough to put a loom in and your yarn, and that way you could keep it separate from your stuff. Another thing I like to keep in my bag is compression gloves. If I work a long period of time and my fingers start bothering me because I have arthritis, the compression gloves relieve the pain just a little bit, at least for me. As far as the bag, you can use any type of bag. I prefer one that it either snaps or closes or zips at the top. This particular bag I got on Amazon, and it is the Gilmore Girls. So let's put everything in our bag. We've got our pencil case, our non-traditional loom hooks. I'm going to put that actually on the bottom. So now we have our rubber band stitch markers. We have our pencil case. Our other stitch markers, our darning needles I'm going to throw up here in this little side pocket, as well as my ink pen. I have a pocket on the other side that I am going to put my scissors in, and sometimes I will also put my loom hook in one of those. I have my compression finger sleeves and my compression gloves, my notebook, and 2 looms. And still plenty of room to add my yarn and grab this and go whenever I am ready. I have it. Let's go. So I encourage you to create your own travel bag. Put everything in there you think that you might need. And don't worry if you miss stuff, because you might find in the future, once you've used your bag a couple times, you might find that you actually want to put more things in there or take some things out. What I have in mind just seems to work for me. Sometimes I will also, depending on what I'm doing, if it's a design, I will also put in a portable digital scale. If you decide to make one of these travel bags, please consider tagging me on Instagram, because I would love to see your ideas and what you come up with. And until next time, happy looming. Bye.